All right, as promised, I am on the road, headed to Montana. The first evening, we are staying near Jacob Lake. Actually, we found a great dispersed campsite. Forest all around. The dogs have had a chance to get out and run, so that's awesome. And we are right near the Arizona Trail. So Jacob Lake is basically kind of at the entrance or near the road that goes into the entrance for the north rim of the Grand Canyon National Park. And so tomorrow morning my plan is to try and do a long run, weather permitting, on the Arizona Trail and get some miles in that way. Today is May 31st, and not only have I kept my mileage over, my 7-day mileage over 100 miles per week, which was what I was trying to do, but I have managed to get 403 miles for the month of May, which is my highest calendar month ever. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm definitely getting back into that regular high mileage block, time on feet. Again, paces are not what I'm concerned with right now, so there's a lot of power hiking, a little bit slower in spots, but still running the downhills, working on getting my my tendons and everything used to this higher mileage, and you know, hoping that'll pay some dividends as I go up to elevation. We're actually at about 7,600 feet right here at this campsite, so higher than I was in Prescott. So I'm betting I'll be doing a lot of power hiking tomorrow, but hopefully I'll do some running as well. And I'm going to wrap up this intro because it is just starting to sprinkle and I don't want to get really wet, but I'll take a second to kind of move the camera around and just try to show a little bit more of this dispersed campsite area. So just really pretty area. There's my RV cub, and the dogs are inside there. And just forest all the way around us, and only the occasional car going by on the road. I know for sure, because last year I did this, that I can take this road that goes that way to meet up with the Arizona Trail. But this trip, I also noticed that this drainage over here has what looks to be a little footpath going up the center of the drainage. So I may check that out and see if that's actually a shorter way to get to the Arizona Trail tomorrow. In any case, got rain coming down. Gonna sign off for now. Dogs and I are out for a bit of an evening walk, and we are on the Arizona Trail, the same trail I'm going to run at tomorrow morning. Got a bird calling here. But I figured I'd take a little video now, this evening, since I'm not running, and just show how pretty this forest area, mix of forest and open areas, because obviously it's been either logged or thinned or both. It's very pretty. I'm also keeping an eye on the darker clouds up there. We had some rain come through already, not very hard, but some rain come through, and don't want to be too far out. It starts raining. I've got a rain jacket, but I'm in jeans since this is just an evening walk, and I don't want to get soaking wet. But it's nice to have the chance to just do a little off-leash walk directly from our campsite in the evening. I enjoy it, the dogs enjoy it, and it's a good time. Stop for a second so I can get some nice unshaky video of the beautiful pine forest on the north rim outside of Yellowstone National Park, just north of it.
I meant Grand Canyon National Park.
I'm headed back now on Saturday morning's long run. I actually forgot to take some video at my turnaround point. It was actually just over the top of that knoll, and there were some trail junction signs that indicated I was 20 miles from a viewpoint, which I assume means overlooking the canyon area, and 28 miles from the Grand Canyon National Park boundary. So, and I was just a little over 10 miles into my run. But this isn't the most scenic place, but I did want to get a little bit of video here. It's open, a little hazy today, but even from here, you can see a bit of the canyon rim there, and it may not come into focus because it is very hazy. And then one of the mountains behind that. So, but I'm gonna get rolling again. We're starting to get back into the unburned section of the forest, and a lot of nice grass here. Got a little bit of wind. I don't know if that'll be a problem on the audio or not, but as I said, I'm gonna do a bit more raw videos this season, just to preserve my time for spending more time in the forest, less time in front of the computer. But a lot of the Arizona trail that I covered today has this kind of look to it. Large pine trees, but fairly open. Some places with young growth coming up, and some places more with grasses. And this particular section doesn't really, look out on views or anything. But I really enjoy running in the forest, so I don't have any problem with this. If I was doing more time in the area, I would certainly go hit some of the rim trails. And I may check that out next year. We'll see. But I can't do the things in the national park on days that I'm trying to get the dogs some conditioning and some exercise. But so the national forest is, of course, fantastic for this. Wanted to also show the mix of aspen trees or other deciduous trees, but there are lots of pockets of these. So not just tall pine forest, but stands of aspen. I was actually here or a similar area one time in the fall. I'd like to come back and look at this section in the fall. But this is interesting because it kind of mixed aspens and pine trees. And of course there are other areas which are more typical cluster of aspen trees, and then separately the pine trees. But this was a real pretty section, so I wanted to get some video through here. And it is a beautiful blue sky day. We're back to Ridge Tank, which I just cued the dogs to go up ahead of me and get a drink. I probably should have told them to wait so I could get video of them in the tank, but they haven't had a lot of water, and I know they're going to be thirsty, so this will give them more time to drink this way. Let's see if I can get a good shot here of them. That's right. They're enjoying that. Katai says, let's have a good swim here. Does that feel good, puppies? Good dogs. Anyway, this is about 5.1 miles away from where our camp is. So I'm kind of halfway back. I'm doing a little bit over 20 miles a day. And when I came through here last year, there were cattle laying actually on the grass here. So Kiri and I did not get water on the way out that day. Instead, we looped around. There's a road on the far side, and so when we were coming back, and that time was a shorter run, we came at the pond from that side and she got some water. So, but gonna get rolling again. As I said, absolutely beautiful day. I had fun on the Arizona Trail. I ended up with 20.2 miles and roughly 1,800 feet of ascent. So not a very high rate of ascent compared to some of the things that I try to do or compared to what I will be doing in Montana. We ended up not having another trail running stop on the way up to Montana for various reasons. And so I'm actually recording this after we've gotten up to Montana, and I've done a couple of road runs. It would have been one. I was trying to just do it in the afternoon when we got here, but there were some afternoon thunderstorms, and so I headed out and I got about 1.5 miles, and then there was, well, I got less than a mile. There was some thunder above me, so I turned around and said, well, I can go this other direction. And then going down in that direction, I actually saw lightning strike the mountain in front of me, and I thought, this isn't worth it. So I went back to the house and then just waited for the storm cells to pass, and then went out and did another 5-mile run after that. So got a 6.5 miles that day. So far, I think the altitude running that I did at the Arizona Trail, it's not fast, which I wasn't expecting. It's actually not quite as bad as I feared it might be, so that's good. But then again, I wasn't that much higher than Prescott. And then the runs I did here, the main thing I noticed, because the ski resort roads are reasonably steep, and the main thing I noticed there was just that those steep climbing muscles definitely need some conditioning. So, but I'm happy to be in Montana and looking forward to doing some good trail running here.